Thomas Middleditch. You play Richard Hendricks, the main character on Silicon Valley, and which just started its fourth season a couple weeks ago. And I was wondering, what is now that you know that you've done 4 seasons of this, what's your favorite thing about getting the first script for a new season for this show? What's your favorite thing about that?
Just mainly, we're all just excited to see where it goes. I'm just excited to see what jokes the writers have come up with, and just a cutthroat grab bag of screen time. Everyone's really obsessed with how many minutes they've got in the episode. I'm just now whenever I talk and it shows me, it just looks so absurd. It's like I'm in my gaming headset. Behind me is a photo of myself as a boy, but that was recently because I was on Corden and they brought that out to try and embarrass me. But I've just become a private pilot, and then Kurt Russell signed it because I'm a huge idol of him, and whatever. It just looks weird. This image is a weird one. It's just a lot going on. D&D books, dice bags, all like ton of computer equipment, World War II fighters. I mean, it's just there's a big trophy from when I played Halo on Conan.
Yeah, I remember you showing that to us a couple years ago.
I mean, it's all just this is my life now, and it's actually always been my life, but that's a new part. It's just Kurt Russell's involved now.
So now you have this new part of your life, that's been around for like the past 4 years of playing Richard on the show. And I'm curious, what aspects of Richard do you find come easiest to you in terms of playing him?
Well, to the common man, I must appear like a very chill individual, but there's probably like a gerbil of anxiety that's running in its little mouse wheel within me as well. It's more apparent, I think, in Richard. He's just obviously very tightly wound, but there's like a quiet fury also going on inside me. I mean, like, who walks around thinking that they are an immoral person, but I do end up like, especially when Richard's trying to like stand up for what he thinks is right, and almost falling on his own sword to do that. I've kind of identified with that too. Like I've probably fumbled my own things because I thought of, it should be done. A false sense of morality.
Trying to be the noble person.
Yeah, that which sounds stupid. That sounds like, I guess my biggest quality is that I'm noble, but that's not what I mean. I'm actually more so mean like the fucking up of one's own life in order to kind of like stand up for your shit.
And so episode 3 just aired last night, and I loved it, and I loved where it left off because it's setting up another meeting between you and Gavin Belson, played by Matt Ross. And it only just occurred to me that you guys haven't had that many scenes together, but I love the tension whenever you two, share a scene together. And I'm just wondering, what's it like, acting opposite Matt Ross?
Well, it's a pain because he's not very good. But outside of that, it's all right. Yeah, it's cool. I like that. This I guess where we're at right now in the season is pretty neat. It's like a bit like Skywalker has to go hang out with Darth Vader and like come to an agreement. I mean, of course, that would be what I wish it were, but it's much more. It's probably less than that. But yeah, I think it's yeah. I mean, it's super fun there because there's been such a hard rivalry between the two that when they're kind of forced to maybe engage on a less sort of j'accuse moment there, I don't know, it was totally fun. It's great. There's better stuff
one
to
of my
come
favorite
too. Like when you catch a glimpse into Gavin's like personal life, that's really quite something.
I can't wait for that. But one of my favorite scenes in the entire show was was in season 2 with you and Gavin, or you and Matt, in the Mexican restaurant, and he is trying to buy you out, and you're about to give your response to him, and all of a sudden the mariachi band comes,
Yeah.
and it's just a shot of you and him for the entire length of the closing credits. Did you guys do only one take of that, or was that more than one take?
No, we did a few. I mean, yeah, we did a few. I think it's long take. That's probably one of four, maybe. It's not too many. We got a schedule to do, and Mike Judge is always like, all right, let's go. Like, if you don't have it by now, I don't think we're gonna get it. But yeah, that kind of stuff's funny. I'm not sure if that got called back or not, but I did like it that when last episode that when then Gavin calls Dinesh into a meeting, he's also at that Mexican restaurant.
And he brings his own food.
It's true. Which is that Mexican restaurant is here in LA.
Really?
Yes. What's it called? Hold on. If anyone's in LA, do go and see Google Maps. I know where it is. I always just forget. It's right by Meltdown Comics. Hold on. See, look at me fucking busting out the Richard right now. This like is it? It's always crowded. It's a very successful restaurant. El Compadre.
El Compadre. Okay, I might be out in LA soon, so I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, anyone who's watching this who's in LA, you can make your way. You can bring your ass on down to El Compadre and eat at the very restaurant that Richard has his meetings with Gavin Dawson.
And I guess that's also where the car wash down the street where the lawyer works is there too.
Oh God, no, that's somewhere in Texas.
So I know that you've been acting for a while, and you come from background of like improv and sketch comedy, and I was wondering what made you want to get into that? What made you say this is what I want to do specifically?
Well, I think it all started with, it really all sort of clicked for me back in about 8th grade with a drama teacher that I had. I guess it's a testament to a well-funded public education system and one with an arts program, which seems to be in jeopardy here, at least in this country. No slight to Betsy. I'm sure you're going to do a bang-up job. Oh, fucking Christ. But outside of that, yeah, I just got put in a play. Honestly, a drama teacher, Ken Wilson, he's put me in a play. And that really clicked. Instead of being sort of an outcast, lonery weirdo, I had like an outlet for my weirdness. And I think within a year, I was the class clown. And at that point, that was all coinciding with watching a bunch of Monty Python movies. Kids in the Hall, for a Canadian, that was very big for me. Kids in the Hall is like sort of weird, absurdist, character-based stuff. That was big. And later on, Mr. Show, BBC, The Office, Extras, stuff like that. And also, just really, I love Tim and Eric. I think it's just like absolutely bonkers. But yeah, I even love I love the Todd Solondz movies, like Happiness and Palindromes and all kind of like the darkness. Because I think, if you have a comedic character, so I love Basket so much. If you have a comedic character, there should be some lingering sadness in there as well, or something that like perfection isn't funny, like failure is funny. A break in your code is funny.
No, I definitely respond to that. I always remember when I first saw Monty Python, I was 8, and and some of it was funny, some of it I didn't get. But then, you watch it again a couple of years later, and you're like, oh, that's what that means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I'm sure much of it went over my head, but I like them singing about sperms. As a kid, as a young boy, if there's a song about jizz and
contraception,
yeah. Like even as a boy, like I loved Jim Carrey a lot. He as I think sixth grade was 5th or 6th grade was when Ace Ventura came out for me, and that was pretty huge for me. And Mike Myers, I loved all those guys.
So
But,
with the
but to be honest, I'll just say one more thing. To be honest, when
oh yeah
someone's
yeah
what were your early influence as a kid? Like, yes, there were some comedies, but as a boy, as a boy who got as that fucking kid, that uh the what possessed I guess the most magic over me was like action stars. Like I couldn't get enough Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Keanu Reeves, Kurt Russell. I couldn't get enough of those dudes. I thought they were just the best. If it was a dude with muscles, I was in. I was in. And he shot things and just was like, "You're bad." Blam. Like, I'll shoot. Ask questions later. I was like, "Yeah, that's the guy for me." Cool. Yeah.
So with this most recent episode that we saw last night, we saw this kind of, I don't want to say newer version of Richard, but this weird very erratic, and from I guess not having slept for several days, and uh, uh, and being obsessed with this new thing. Did you enjoy getting to play that new facet of Richard in that context?
Yeah, well, I think, for this beginning part of the season, his arc is very it's important in the sense that, like, okay, he's abandoned this company, really. I mean, like, he's a man where it was, so he went off on his own. I mean, I guess granted it's sort of coming back together now, I think, right? Um, but he's abandoned it to pursue this thing. So it's the loftiest version of his crazy revolutionary algorithm that he could pursue. And he's really on his own while he does it. And his back is totally against the wall. 1 second. Molly. No. Can you take the dogs maybe for a walk or something? I'm sorry. This is just like sorry. My wife!
We will blame the wife.
No. Sorry, Molly. It won't take long. It won't be long. Okay. I don't have a big house. Not yet.
You're working on it.
Yeah.
Or were you in the, were you done there?
I don't know where I was. Yeah, he's just. I guess he's just his back against the wall. So yeah, he's just probably under a lot of pressure and a little frazzled. And he's the type of guy that when he wants to do something, he gets super focused, super tunnel visioned. And so I think when you're like that, other things suffer, like your sociability and mental stability.
So I've talked with Zach Woods about this a couple times. I know that a lot of some of his lines he improvises on set, and I know you come from a background of improv. Who does the most improvising on set, or is it one of the other cast members?
In terms of the most, yeah, I'd probably say it's Zach. He really comes prepared. Um, he's a great improviser, but he also comes prepared to work with alt, alt, alternative lines. Now, whenever I say alt lines, I just think of alt facts and alt right. But yeah, he comes with pitches, at various different takes on jokes, which is great. I mean, it keeps things new and fresh. We make sure we get what's down on the page for sure, and that goes for all of us. In any given scene, we're making sure, because we're fortunate enough to work with like really good scripts, a ton of incredible writers. So we get what's on the page first, and then I think everybody's approach, whoever does it the most or not, is not really to like throw the script out. It's more so coming up with a new joke to either add stuff or to keep it fresh, or if in the scene there's maybe a little tangent that we can go on and like chew all that up and then get back to the scene, there's something, or just a reaction to try and like feed someone. We're looking for little moments. Pepper on the steak. I mean, we all know like a good steak analogy. Every Hollywood is known for good steak analogies and steak allergies as well. And so we're just looking for pepper on
Okay, pepper on the steak too.
it. Yeah.
Now, so is there a favorite line that you've improvised that made it on air that's a personal favorite of yours?
Yeah. What would it be? Oh, I think I like this stuff. So there was one bit, was it last season or the season before? Monica comes to the house and she knocks on the window while I'm in the bathroom and accidentally sees my wiener. And then we're talking at the garage, outside the garage. We're talking about all this stuff. And then I said something like, I didn't warn her anything. I just said, "Oh, nice. You've seen mine. Now I'm gonna have to show me yours," or something like that. And I think it just like caught her off guard, and her reaction is definitely in it, as well as the line, which I
I think
kind
that
of like that, like a little surprise
I think
there.
that is season 2.
Yeah.
I rewatched all that season on Saturday. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I think what I like about something like that, and all of us have that, is like it's very much what's fun about. Well, I'll say this: what's fun about Richard? Some of those lines, it's like he he maybe wants to say something, but he just like gets excited, and it just like comes out really gross. Like there's even a point. Is it later on that season or the season after where him and her like are going around there and they realize they had to neg, they have to put down the VCs in order to like, have them pay attention to us. I think what made it in was all like the joke was that Richard did it really tame, but like all of there's a lot of like cuts there that are floating around of Richard being like, "Yeah, I'd fuck you too, you fuckers." You know, like he can't maneuver that. It just comes out all strange.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite parts of I think it's the season 2 premiere when and he's like, if you don't like it, you're a fucking slut.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's an
just,
improv thing that's in this, sadly, but also that's a very Richard thing to accidentally do. It's just, oh shit, I've crossed the line so hard.
But thinking like he's going in that like he's being really savage.
Yeah.
It's like,
but it just lacks the sort of navigation. Yeah. Just
there's something so innocent about that also, which I love about that too.
Yeah.
So we are an awards site, and last year you got to go to the Emmys as a nominee for lead actor in a comedy series. What was it like attending the Emmys as a nominee as opposed to just going as being a part of the program?
maybe this speaks to the level of nominee status that I have, but it really wasn't that much different. I was still on the red carpet getting shooed aside for the next more famous person that's just stepped on. You know, I didn't get that. I didn't get any. It was neat. The only added thing was that when you were feeling nervous and trying to tell yourself that there's no chance in hell, there was a camera right there for that to capture that moment. That was really the only difference.
Did you ever just want to like look at the camera and go, "What the hell are you doing here?"
Yeah, just like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I want to. I think it would be weird at this point, but I would like to at one point, like when the camera's there and they're announcing all the other names, just be like, boo.
Or just shake your head the whole time. Just shake your head,
like,
going,
oh,
"No."
I can't believe this. Have signs being like hack, and like
you should totally
racist.
do that.
Yeah, closeted racist. You know, when the different names came up, and voted for Trump.
Yeah,
You
hold
know,
that up for
things like that.
Anderson. I think that would go over really well.
Yeah, he's in secretly a white guy in blackface or something. Just be like, whoa, it just makes me look terrible, you know? Just like, oh god. It's terrible.
It's all performance art. It's all
Middleditch is
performance
losing his mind.
Well, Thomas, I can't thank you enough for letting us chat with you for a little bit here. Silicon Valley is Sundays at 10 on HBO. Is it 10 or 10:30?
It's 10 even.
Okay, it's 10. Okay. For some reason I always feel like they keep flipping you and Veep in that slot. So
yeah, we've been switched around, but that's okay.
Yeah, but you guys are the lead in now, as you should be.
Oh,
so
God,
10 o'clock on HBO. 10 o'clock on HBO. And best of luck to you and this award season. Thanks so much.
Thank you.